good day. Today, Monday, September 12, 2022, Europe hopes to reap political dividends from a high-priced winter. The fighting in Ukraine forces the EU to decouple from Russian strength and teaches the bloc some difficult lessons, say analysts. European leaders have accepted an unheard-of aggregate of electricity subsidies and economic measures aimed at making the continent much less reliant on Russian coal, oil, and gas, and, increasingly, it appears as, even though the political will is stiffening to make that independence permanent. On Friday, European Union heads of authorities voted to subsidize electrical energy and fuel bump-off through households and companies this wintry weather, amid hovering prices. They have requested the European Commission, the EU executive, to advise charge caps above which the subsidy would kick in. Governments would pay for it by clawing again electrical energy producers and fuel importers' extra profits. Over the previous year, fuel expenditures have risen eightfold to stand at €340, $345 per megawatt-hour closing month, whilst electrical energy costs have tripled this 12 months in the main due to the upward push in expenditures of hydrocarbons, leaders said. Some EU contributors had already begun subsidizing bills. Greece tops the league, spending 3.7% of GDP to break up electrical energy payments, with customers 50-50 greater than any different EU member. Germany, on September 7, handed a one-third power alleviation bundle well worth €65 billion, $66 billion, bringing to €95 billion, $96 billion, the whole price of subsidies to households and businesses. Russian blackmail. The EU banned imports of Russian coal ultimate April in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and accompanied a ban on Russian oil in June. But it did no longer ban gas, which is tough to change with shipments to European ports. This is due to the fact the international grant of liquefied natural gas, LNG, was once already oversubscribed after the post-pandemic world rebound and transition to cleaner fuels. However, it's additionally due to the fact some EU international locations have no LNG import facilities. Germany and landlocked Central and Eastern Europe, in particular, are structured on fuel added in through Russian pipelines, which provided about 0.33% of EU fuel final year. Russia has threatened to reduce this essential grant, except if the EU lifts sanctions and stops weapons deliveries to Ukraine. We are equipped to furnish gasoline in volumes that had been gotten smaller even now. However, this will certainly rely on the function of European countries, stated Russian Security Council Vice President Dmitry Medvedev on August 28. If our palms are twisted, if our payments are banned, or the shipping of repaired mills or the Nord Stream 2 launch is rejected, then elements of this type will likely now not be in volumes the Western nations expect. Germany halted the technique of certifying the newly constructed Nord Stream 2 pipeline on February 22 after Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered his first troops into Japanese Ukraine. The pipeline used to be to commence handing over 55 billion cubic meters of fuel to Germany this year. And sanctions have avoided German industrial large Siemens from handing over to Russia gasoline compressor mills after maintenance. Without them, Russia says it can't pressurize the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. It have flows through Nord Stream 1 twice, on June 15 and July 27, earlier than asserting it used to be shutting it off totally on September 3 on every occasion. Russia's movements dispatched gasoline expenditures in Europe higher. European leaders have dismissed the Russian explanation that technical challenges prompted the closure. Putin's gasoline hostilities in opposition to Europe is a direct continuation of his conflict with Ukraine, stated Ukrainian Overseas Minister Dmytro Kuleba in July. Wherever he can convey harm, he will. He will use each dependence Europe has on Russia to destroy the everyday existence of each and every European family. The sole way is to hit again challenging and get rid of any dependence. Energy security. Europe's power decoupling from Russia may additionally cripple it this iciness, and many economists agree with it will go through recession, commonly due to excessive electricity costs. Europe doesn't have adequate gasoline as a whole, no matter having storage 85% full, due to the fact it's a query of whether or not you can get gasoline from the place it's saved to the place it's needed, stated Jonathan Stern, who leads the Oxford Institute for Energy Studies. For example, France, which has LNG terminals, can't provide Germany with gasoline due to the fact there's inadequate capability between them. Germany has been angrily looking for up-fuel big haulers to go about as seaward stockpiling and is developing regasification vegetation inland. Germany is supposed to deliver one LNG terminal online at the give-up of this year's at Wilhelmshaven and every other early subsequent 12 months at Brunsbüttel. so it would possibly have some LNG imports in the second half of the winter, however solely if the whole thing goes in accordance to plan, stated Stern. Russian gasoline nevertheless flows through the Yamal pipeline that crosses Ukraine and the Turk Stream pipeline that runs underneath the Black Sea. Losing these would make things tons worse for Europe, which nevertheless leaves Russia with leverage, stated Michalis Mathiolakis, head of the Greek Energy Forum think tank. About 10 billion cubic meters per annum GMA are nevertheless flowing through Turkstream. The gadget through Ukraine is working at about 50 to 60% capacity, through which we get about 25 GMA. Total 35 GMA if that is shut down. We can't exchange it, Mathiolakis said. The U.S. has promised elevated LNG exports to Europe, however, these are based on personal zone capacity. Thanks for watching and subscribing to the channel.